One remember next. So, his beloved was possessed by the spirit of a demon. That's what it meant to be a hero. To brave the darkness in your loved one's soul. To have faith there was still good in her. To help her out of that darkness, no matter what the cost. But what? What could he do? She'd kill him if he tried to take the Iblis stone from her. He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. He really needed to construct additional pylons.
How was your day or night, man?
You were just going round in circles. Bernardo felt like that. At the end of the trail of raven corpses was Zenobia. Her father was frantically rigging a strange apparatus wrapped around her glowing core. "Don't do it!" he shouted. "You'll hate yourself in the morning! Stay back!" She screamed in a horrible voice he'd never heard before. It froze him in his tracks. The Emperor stared at him. "Run!" he told the toad. "Or hop!" But he didn't manage to voice it, only think it. Zenobia stabbed her blade forward, and His Majesty fell dead. She began laughing hysterically. Or was she weeping? "Just walk away," she laughed at him. "I've no more use for you." There was something he needed to do, but he couldn't figure out what it was. So
Alright, I
he did as he was told.
sent back my Far Cry 4, guys.
He felt chill in the world. The light in the sky seemed to dim. He didn't dare turn. He had a nagging feeling there was something he should have done just then. Something heroic. But he could not have taken the Iblis stone from her by force. And she would not have parted with it willingly. A cold wind blew from where she had been. But he still didn't dare turn. And then, an awful laughter filled the air. And all the torches and all the ships went out. And he realized what he should have done. But by then, it was too late to do anything.
Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there.
But all those years fighting the Empire had been nothing but a vision into the future. A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Zenobia still had feelings for him. He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. Yes, it was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Lupino was no game changer, but could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
You can make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time and Reynardo needed a game changer, even though Lupino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer. He could come up with some hair behind schemes, build his character. Already have that. The rebellion was out of time, and Reynardo needed a game changer. A mysterious temple had risen out of desert. The Emperor had sent his ravens to search for the Iblis stone, the ancient artifact may contain the power to bring down the Empire. The rebellion was a game changer, an incident that defends the lost gods would indeed be a game changer. Those who split into pieces were...
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Reynardo could fathom. But if he could find the legendary weapon, he would use it. As he set foot in the isle, Reynardo could not help but feel a tinge of guilt. He'd left Lupino behind. He hoped the Mad Rat would somehow escape the Ravens. He hoped they hadn't eaten him. If they had, he hoped they hadn't eaten him alive. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Excuse me.
Just have a dash, thought Reynardo. These things really slice like ham. The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legends say. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands and thousands had died. But Reynardo had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one. Swell. Stay away from the other guy's sword.
Dang it.
Take the goat across first, Reynardo thought. But it was too late.
to die, he thought. And it was. See? That wasn't so hard. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams of me. Engineered to it, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How is it part of the weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest in the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Rapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
Excuse me. Remember, guys, like and subscribe. Try to do videos every day or every week.
Why had he chosen the Skyripper?
So far, I think I've been successful.
The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Grown up. He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense? I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Venado.
It's not jumped down yet.
was something sour in the air. Like the earth.
If you guys want me to play some more Madden and live stream on it, comment below and I'll get back to you. Or then if you say yes or no, if you say yes, we'll go play some Madden. If you say no, and you're outvoted by yes or something, then we'll still go play Madden. It depends on the votes. Level 9, almost. Level 9.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except the feverish call of the raven when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
Sorry guys, I unplugged my mic.
Dead tired. Then he was just dead.
Dang it!
For dinner, he thought. I hope it's not broccoli.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Ready to blossom within him, or something. The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. He carried his prize back to the Farfair. Now he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to
I might be getting Infinite Warfare through Gamefly, guys. Like, I'll just do some live streams on that voice crack though, but I'll do some live streams on that
There was an
too.
observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fires.
The skipper was complete. The super weapon could put an end to the Imperial madness, but had Rhinodorn assemble it correctly, would it work as a critical moment? The scientist of Nexus would silly give answers. The skipper was complete, and the super weapon could put an end to the Imperial's madness, but would it work at the critical moment? Maybe it needed field testing in Imperial outposts.
Ronaldo had never been much of a student. At sword through school, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. And Zenobia. But weapons he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists. Right? Exactly. As he set out down the path.
Get ready for some action.
Thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it, this Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction. He was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator. It was time to make a new sword. He once met a pirate captain. He used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again? He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Skyripper. It made strange, mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum. The Skyripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years. The crafting bench. Renato wondered what he could make with it.
Dang it.
The Skyripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them. Renato had a thought. Please? He asked. The Skyripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame. Raven flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The fast speaker toad came hopping out. Renato! It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia.
Don't use the Skyripper. It will destroy the world.
Yeah, sure it will, cracked Renato. Pull the other one.
If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras. He'll tell you the same thing.
Oh, she would say that. That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating. Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Skyripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Should drop this guy just in case.
Frustrating. If she couldn't get you with magic, she'd get you with reason and caution and sensible arguments. Of course, Calaveras, he might not know the latest scientific theories with evidence and all, but Renato preferred the knowledge in the old books anyway. What they said felt true, and that's what's important. You should be careful. She'd probably get him to come here. That meant she'd probably set an ambush for him. Renato landed on the island, expecting Zenobia's ambush at any moment. After all these years, she still drove him crazy. Unless they were part of the ambush, the obvious reasons he was meant to take his mind off the ones he wouldn't see. There did seem to be a lot of ravens around here. What else could you hear?
No!
there was an engraving. Maximum capacity. 130 people.
Comment below whoever's watching, guys.
Zenobia's ambush never materialized. Could she be sincere? Calaveras was a great scholar. Renato doubted even Zenobia could convince him to say something he didn't believe. And if he was working for the Empire, he'd never have told Renato about the Sky Ripper in the first place. Well, he would listen to the wise old tale, but that didn't mean he had to agree.
Getting nowhere. Fast.
Dang it.
To escape sometime.
He found a Super Munition #1 in mint condition in a jar. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
Circles, let's just do circles when we're going up the same. Let's just do circles. Circles. Let's just do circles.
Here's a lie. Renato realized that the rebels had no way of knowing he had a powerful new weapon. He might set off on their attack of the fleet before he could bring the Sky Ripper to the fight. He had to hurry, while there were still rebels to save.
Calaveras examines the Sky Ripper eagerly.
What? How often does the new relic surface?
He brushed off Zenobia's warning.
Oh, what does sorceresses know about physics?
However, he did know a few ways to make the weapon even more precise and more powerful, and quickly went off to tinker. Soon the Sky Ripper no longer whined, but thrummed like a hummingbird taking off. It was ready for war.
And so, Renato thanked Calaveras, took the legendary weapon to the final battle. But where were the other rebel ships? Had something happened?
He could defeat the Imperial fleet with the Sky Ripper, but he couldn't govern. He was not cut out to be emperor, and he'd no desire to be one. There were a few rebel ships here and there, but there was no organization to the battle. Where was the council flagship? Something had gone terribly wrong. But he had the Sky River, and the Ravens had nowhere they could hide.
Where is his name? Oh, where is his name? He's not online. Never mind. Never mind. Oops. Always seen those stupid doors that I can't open. And it makes me mad. It makes me mad, man.
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want it to go. Smashing things was fun. This is quite the view, you thought.
Yep.
The speaker was on the deck, pleading. Why was she even here? They found our base, she croaked. The council, all dead. We must surrender. No, we can still win this, said Reynardo. I have the Sky River. He would be a real hero and save the day, even when all appeared to be lost. You're a good boy, said the speaker, and then she died.
And you're a good boy. Hee hee hee. I must be a good boy.
Felt like Tarzan.
Dang it. I died again. Go in circles. Time to go in circles. Circles.
This was a roundabout way.
Excuse me. Who is that? The channel can buff and heal enemies, buff Raven's Tinkerous. Okay, you're gonna go on first, mate. Leveled up again, people. Dang.
He fired the skyward. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. And for good measure, he played the beam around it, setting all the other nearby Imperial ships on fire too. And he watched them burn. The few remaining rebels gave a cheer. And then they stopped cheering. There was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger. Crates were falling off ship decks, upwards into the hole. And the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror as it poured into the ravenous hole. I guess that somewhere behind that ever-widening hole were gods that had long been exiled. But it didn't really matter. Time was done for here. And soon it was. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt
After this gets done loading, I'll be done with my live stream.
And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learn another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly. But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right?
Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Skyripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. On the other hand, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Lapino was no game changer, but could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens? Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble given time, but he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse.
This last stream is almost 50 minutes long.
Where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Well guys, I'm gonna wrap up. And hope you all have a nice rest of your day or night. And comment, like, subscribe. You don't have to comment. So, peace.